So welcome back, ladies and gents. Here we go again into another SCPH replay cast, and here and now it's gonna be a ZVZ on Zen LE. Introducing first, on the bottom left of Zen. It's been a while since we've seen this guy, but I really appreciate his supports. He's on that red Zerg, looking to make an impact. It's Deneb. So for you guys who are, a little newer to the replay cast system, well, Deneb was one of the first ones to actually send some replays in, and well, he does send in from time to time as well, so shoutouts to Deneb. Hopefully, I know you had to make you wait for a while because suddenly we had these tournaments and but I do appreciate it when you do see it on the group, and there you go, we are going to be doing your game here and now on Zen. In the meantime though, his opponents on the blue Zerg instead, it is Fred. So Fred, hello Fred. Is this Scooby-Doo Fred? Is this the YouTuber Fred, or is his name just Fred? Frederico, Flamenco, Florencio. A pretty popular guy, in his region, and pretty popular in SC too. So anyway, it's ZVZ, and well, in a ZVZ, usually it really is all about mirroring what your opponent does. When your opponent has one thing, you want to have the same old thing as well, but Deneb is forming up the Congo line. This is a pretty cheesy antic already. So if you notice on terms of that economy, Deneb is just so low because he has brought everything in already to go for the attack, and Fred might not be ready for it. He went for the hatchery first here, and now that pool is not going to be ready whatsoever, and Deneb just saying, I don't want to go for that natural, I will go for your main base. And since he does have the spawning pool already, he can build some spine crawlers right here, right now. Now, Fred will have to want to transition to that natural. If he has the hatchery in place, he will just basically farm up on there and counter up Deneb. But Fred, why are you fighting? There is no point. There is no need. Okay, better decision. Come on, Fred. Come on, just play a macro game. But if he does see the high ground, though, I do get it. If he does see that high ground, then, well, those spine crawlers can move on over and just poke at that natural. So I guess Fred doing a pretty good job as well. But right here, right now, Fred needs some micro for his life. He was able to buy some time for Zerglings to come on out, but with Deneb already ready with the spine crawlers, well, the best thing he can do right now is form up on the natural. Now, honestly, this is very interesting here for Deneb as the queen comes on out as well, because if he does kill this hatchery, the creep will recede, and the spine crawlers might not be able to go for the harassment. So the biggest deal right now is hopefully we see a creep tumor here from Fred for Deneb to keep things up. He is going for a little bit of macro in behind, but in the meantime, Fred is just trying to make a big force. Now, interesting enough, Fred is not going for any kind of run bys. He's not going for any attacks whatsoever. He's looking to hold on this defense. He has that one Zergling just waiting on the side, and there you go. So the creep right now receding, but at the same time, oh, the hatchery down below giving some creep off as well. And well, wow, Deneb understanding the map really well and putting it harassment from above. This is really good here for Deneb because now Fred is not ready for this. There is no way for him to stay alive into this front. Deneb also having some Zerglings and just a pretty cheeky maneuver overall. That was so potent right here, right now. Fred though sacrificing his links to try and go for that spine crawler, and it's gonna be a duel between these two static defenses. But honestly, this is Fred not with the advantage whatsoever because the spine crawler is basically gonna run out of creep. And it was some free shots there, and then for Deneb, it's a poke battle here and now, and eventually, it is Deneb holding strong yet again. Now, Fred can still come out of this, honestly. He can go for the cleanup now since he did sacrifice a lot for it. I feel like, though, if he did just send in a little bit of that run by, go for another hatchery there, and then, or went for his own all-in, it could have been a little better in that regard. But hey, it is what it is. And Fred right now cleaning things up. I'm not here to judge their decisions, but I'm just here to talk about them, what they could have done, and what they can do now into the future. Also, what they did, though, that's really important. When you're casting, you just say, "Oh, this is what happened. That's the show. That's there." But interesting rush though from Deneb. I feel like there are many ways there from Fred to really counter that one out, but since Deneb got maximum value, getting rid of that main base, well, it is time for him to just macro on up and behind. Anyway though, so it turns basically back into a more macro-oriented game. With a pull there from Deneb, he is now basically able to take the lead in a way, because for Fred, he's trying to decide what to do. He's getting money, a lot of money, as much as possible, using that money actually to build a hatchery back onto the main. So it will be a 2-base scenario here for our blue Zerg, and in the meantime, for Deneb, well, he's happy to move into something a little different. Still ZVZ though, since the Zerglings on the other side, it's gonna be Zerglings on the other side, and oh, Fred gonna be starting things off with the tech transitions. He's going for that second base, he's going for the Banelings, and I feel like, well, for Deneb, he's going for his own natural, so it seems like the first 5 minutes of this game did not really exist. It feels like both players has just hit their reset button. They went back in time, they said, no, we're gonna reload from last checkpoint, and we are gonna go again. So honestly, if you don't pay attention to that timer on the left side, you would think this game just started. But anyway, so Fred wants to get this main, Deneb wants to get his natural. The only thing Fred does have the advantage though on is this Baneling nest right now, because if he's able to really find out his targets, especially on the mineral line, it's gonna be a big hurting for Deneb, because he doesn't really have the biggest funnel yet. He didn't really wall in onto this side, and with the Spine Crawler, it only gets into the middle. So I like how Deneb did put the Roach Warrior though in behind, forcing the rotation to be a little longer, and it will allow the drones to plug that in. So in terms of the future, Deneb is now safe and sound, but there was still opportunities there for Fred. Just small little timing windows that he is missing. So you really see that this isn't, of course, the highest tier of game, but if you do want to move on up, you want to take those opportunities, especially when you scout them out. Anyway though, got Deneb right now, going for that natural. In the meantime, metabolic boost. 6 minute, 51 second metabolic boost. Timing, interesting. So by the 7-minute mark, they should be done right around 7, maybe even at the 8-minute mark. But you know, it really feels like we just hit the hard reset button, and maybe I should just close my eyes and watched the first 5 minutes and be like, oh, that never happened. That's not real. Yeah, that is not true. And well, it is, as we say, what it is. Anyway though, where are we into this one? It's still Fred having his Overlord, then in the meantime going for the previous Fred. Wants to get a little more tumors here and there, and of course he wants to put it in places where he only can capitalize. So I like this high ground creep right now. It will be a slow transition trying to get to the ramp itself, and of course you gotta plug that leak just in case. But when it creeps your position, does that allow? There's a little small gap here. Maybe a Zergling or funnel or two might be able to get on through. But Fred in the meantime, Mainling's already ready to go. Deneb has went into Roach Tech, and this is pretty interesting because in a ZVZ, you don't want to be on different tech. Fred right now with Banelings, and if Deneb gets more of these, well, they don't really care about Banes, honestly. They can just do whatever the hell they want. But Fred is responding already with his own Roach Warren. In the meantime, a pretty late lair tech, honestly, here for Deneb. Basically, just like we said, don't pay attention to the time. But he's going for the lair tech right now, which means he's not going to be getting that reconstitution early enough for those roaches to really capitalize on. But as I say that, he only has 1 here, and he has 6 coming his way. So in a way, you can say that he's a little bit on time, but not really. +1 go for it. Evo Chamber coming on in here, and now second Evo Chamber to really reinforce that wall. And well, little skirmish here, and now Fred has decided how to use his Bane. Bro, that is not how you use Baneling. So Fred is gonna pretend that never happened, and he is gonna go for his own Banes, like new set Banes. No, these were the OG set Banes. What are you talking about, Daks? These were the original Banes. You didn't see nothing. And then right now gonna be walking into this one, and the Banelings are they gonna get used? I mean, you don't really have a choice by that point. Gets a little bit of that splash damage. Fred will beat this back, and I like that tier for Fred that he did go for the Roach in time. If he stayed on Ling Bane, well, he would have been punished there. But also just a basic mistiming opportunity there for Deneb. If he hit that Roach Warren, if he made sure the Overlord wasn't going to be there, it would allowed Fred to potentially think he was on Baneling tech as well. I mean, Fred didn't really scout that been behind, so it's something. But the fact that the solo Roach coming on in for no real reason was a red flag there for Fred, and he has adjusted really well. He has a lot of units right now gonna be waiting onto this side. Fred though will lose that Overlord for that scout, and Deneb has taken the lead on the worker counts while all of this is happening. Now Carapace upgrade here for Deneb as well as the +1, and this is where usually the better macro player is able to keep things up. Now we do see the macro hatch here for Fred. Just puts it right beside it. Don't worry, Extinct. I got my therms right now ready to go. And interesting enough, Deneb gonna be putting up a fight here, and now the big upgrade though, difference is the reconstitution, and Deneb is just able to march on in with these roaches in the proper spot, with the proper numbers. Really looking good here for the Red Zerg, and this should be just a mop-up onto the staircase. Deneb right now in prime position, and this is, what, 17 roaches versus an upcoming 11 plus 4, 15. Deneb in an advantage. He can really go for the punish, and with the reconstitution in hand, that is just going to be more mobility in his way. He also has +1, so this is going to be a big difference for our Red Zerg. Honestly, macro on point here for Deneb after a pretty cheeky start. And here we go right now. It has to go for the target focus though. Let's push on in immediately. The Queens trying to get a little reinforcement damage in behind. Here comes more and more of those roaches as well. Zerg is trying to come on through, but this is just Deneb holding the line pretty well. It's a big stain of Fred. Interesting though, Deneb is going to be backing on out. Fred has pushed him back just a little bit, but Deneb is going to reconvene and go again. So pretty smartly done there by a Red Zerg. Waiting for the reinforcements to go for to re-engage. And since he had the movement speed upgrade, allowing him to move a lot faster there than his opponents, Fred could not keep up, Fred could not go for the punish, and Deneb is literally walking over his opponents. 52 army versus 18, GG is called. Victory there for a Red Zerg, well deserved by Mr. Deneb. And there you go, just a pretty standard CVC after a not so standard opening. And honestly, the first half and the second half of this game, very different games. Deneb could have been punished, honestly, by Fred there. I feel like if your opponent already is going for that hatchery, especially the fact that you're not going to get your spore crawlers in time to really put the harassments, well, it can be circumnavigated to a point. But as we also saw, Fred did not go for the cancel. Should have gone for the cancel, honestly. Like, if you are going to be seeing those drones come, you go for the cancel, you set up your own spines already before anything else. As soon as your spawning pool comes, it's also pretty important, and try to defend those. I think that's a right play there. It really just goes to show that these two players are looking to play something a little different, and it was pretty entertaining. I did like it. I did enjoy the first half, especially with just seeing the spine crawler poke each other till one of them died, and eventually the other one died, and you know, everything dies. That is over the victory, and that is our second game of this session. We'll see you guys into our next game.